Hi, my name is Mel Royer, and I'll be the primary instructor for MAT-107 this summer. This is the first of several introductory videos that I'll record and post on Blackboard, describing the nature of the course and how to navigate the Blackboard website and course policies and the syllabus and so on. In this first video, I'd like to do three things. Give a personal introduction of myself, talk a little bit about the course, and then just very briefly about mathematics itself and why you might be taking a math class. I grew up in northern Indiana and then went to Purdue because I knew I wanted to be an engineer. God changed the plans along the way. I met my wife while I was at Purdue, and we've recently celebrated our 20th anniversary, which we're really proud about. As I said, I was interested in engineering and did a bachelor's and master's degree in engineering at Purdue before I switched and finished my PhD in math. From Purdue, I went to a community college in Illinois and taught a few years there, and now I've been at IWU for 12 years in the math department here. I like travel, I like music, running, animals, like activities that are happening at my church. Like Christian education in general. I didn't get a chance to go to a Christian college and really appreciate the opportunity to teach at one. I like messing around with technology, computers, and math software and so on. And of course I like mathematics itself and always have. Actually I liked most subjects in school, but math was one that I was particularly fond of, and I'm glad to be teaching it. Regarding this class itself, there was some confusion. It does run May 1st through August the 2nd, so that's 3 full months. The textbook you've been emailed about for all practical purposes, 9th edition. Any format of the book will work, so if you have a hard copy or a soft cover or the ebook, any of those will work just fine. I emailed information about the ebook since that's your cheapest option and the one that you are able to get most quickly. You can just purchase it online with a credit card and log on to the site and be right there. If you are planning to get a hard copy of the book, you're welcome to purchase it online, but make sure that it's delivered to you by May the 1st or at the absolute latest May the 2nd, because we're going to have a homework assignment due shortly after that out of the textbook. I've taught MAT-107 many times, mostly on campus here, and then last summer taught it online for the first time. Last summer it was run as a 1-month June course, and we found that the time frame was a little tight, and so we've now switched to making it a full summer course. I hope that will be better for you. The danger, I suppose, is that you may procrastinate a little bit because you get an assignment, it's not due for a week, and okay, I'll just wait. That would not be a good idea in math courses in general, and in particular in an online course. There are currently 14 of you enrolled, and so we will be doing a beginning activity in which you post some information about yourself on Blackboard, and one of the later videos will show you how to do that. One of the things I want to do out of that is get a feel for who's in the class, but I also want you to get some information about who else is in the class, because there will be group projects for this course, and it might make sense for you to work on the projects with somebody who had some similar interests and perhaps a similar schedule as you do. This class will be what's known as entirely asynchronous or not synchronous, meaning that there's no specific time that you have to be logged in. The group projects can be done you'll work together on them, of course, but they can be done kind of one person does one thing and then one person does part of another, and you may have to email some and perhaps Skype. But it's not like you have to come to campus to do any of that work. Also, the tests will be taken online using Blackboard. You can take those from home, and you have a 24-hour window to take those, so there's no specific time, again, that you need to be logged on. That means that you're able to do other things, like perhaps take another class or work or something like that. I would encourage you, though, not to fill your summer too full and not leave time for this class. I think my past students have agreed that a rule of thumb about almost 2 hours outside of class for each hour inside of class would be a good rule of thumb. So I've set the syllabus up to as if the course were taught Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we're basically having 3 hours of class per week, so to speak, or the equivalent content of 3 hours per week. So you should be probably planning on 8 to 10 hours a week on this class. Some of you may need more than that, some of you may need less. The later videos, a couple later videos, will consist of, first of all, an introduction to the Blackboard site. So I'll do screenshots and show you how to navigate around Blackboard and where to post your homework assignments when you have them completed and so on. And then another video will be a walk through the syllabus, carefully explaining the course policies and scheduling and how you'll be graded and all of that good information. So more information about that later. Finally, a brief comment about mathematics itself. By now, society is very quantitative. Math is really everywhere, even when you don't see it, and typically you don't see it. So for example, when you get in your car and start the engine and start using the electronics and so on, the background mathematics is hid in the computers that are operating your equipment. Likewise, anything from washing machines to DVD players and so on all have electronics that have been programmed with mathematics in the background. Other places in daily life where you may not be using it directly, but somebody is using it to help you, things like scheduling of flights on airlines, or deciding how a factory is going to allocate its resources, how many employees are going to be working each shift, and what kind of funds are going to be spent buying new equipment and so on. All of those by now are heavily mathematical activities. Companies need to use mathematics to be competitive in those. If they don't, their competition will drive them out of business. The topics in this particular class are going to be varied. Instead of staying with one topic and building and building and building, what we're going to do is jump around from topic to topic, and there won't be a lot of explicit connection between the topics. That's good in some sense. In particular, if you find a topic that's challenging for you, then after a while it will tend to go away, and perhaps a new topic will come along that's more to your taste. The topics themselves were chosen for one or both of two reasons. One is that the topics in this class tend to be relatively recent in the history of mathematics. Now, that doesn't mean like they were discovered yesterday. It might mean 100 or 200 years. But compared to algebra, which has been around for thousands of years, or geometry, these course topics tend to be relatively recent in the modern era, so to speak. Or another reason they might be chosen is if they are extensively used. So for example, we'll talk a little bit about statistics, mostly because it's impossible to pick up a paper like USA Today and read it and not encounter various data being presented, and knowing statistics will help you to decipher what's being said. In many cases, the topics were chosen because both of those things are true. So that concludes this introductory video. I'll try to post a couple of other introductory videos within the next few days here, and certainly before the start of the course, which is Wednesday, May the 1st. So thanks for watching, and we'll keep in touch.